body of Justice Antonin Scalia. It's in the Great Hall of the Supreme Court building, and the casket remained there all day while members of the public paid their respects. You could see people lining up outside the Great Hall before the public viewing. Justice Scalia's son, who is a priest, presided over a brief private ceremony for fellow justices and family members. A funeral mass will take place tomorrow morning. In the meantime, the White House says President Obama will start reading through extensive packets of information about potential Supreme Court nominees this weekend. The information includes the details of their professional careers, their records, and experience. Press Secretary Josh Earnest says the packets were prepared by the White House attorneys.
New tonight, in response to a hate crime earlier this week, UC Davis is launching an effort to make sure that all the lights on campus are working. Many students say they don't feel safe while they're walking on campus. So the police department is assigned a security unit to review and report all lights that are not working. Over the next few weeks, work will be expedited to get them fixed. The police department will also host a walk on March 9th to give students a chance to identify other concerns.
Now to KCRA 3 weather, and some athletes in Placer County had to dodge a little rain tonight during soccer tryouts. This is some video that was taken just after 7:30 this evening in Rockland, and you could see the ground was wet, and those who were out watching the tryouts had their umbrellas out.
But really nothing too serious when it came to rain. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Eileen Javora.
Yeah, a little bit soupy tonight. We had some light rain, some drizzle mixing in this evening, mainly from the I-80 corridor and north. Really, this line of cloudiness and rain associated with it didn't make it deep into the San Joaquin Valley and really concentrated into the lower foothills in terms of the steadiest rain. So you can see right now in Sacramento, we're basically dry. We did have a little light rain earlier on, didn't amount to much, but in Lincoln and Loomis and Rockland, Newcastle, Roseville, we had a little more rain here, and even Grass Valley, about 1/3 of an inch of rain fell. We're still getting a little light snow up on Interstate 80. Really didn't develop south of here into Highway 50 really, and even over Donner Summit. Currently, it's just basically wet. Here in the valley, we're going to wake up to dry conditions, but some fog will be around for the morning time. It'll eventually burn off. Temperatures will be cool in the morning in the 40s. We'll show you where the fog may be thickest for tomorrow morning. Coming up, back to you.
Eileen, thank you. Well, seeing green in all this green in Stockton, hyacinth has been a pesky problem for the city, costing millions of dollars to clear out and a lot of headaches for boaters. Well, now Stockton's mayor says he has a plan to actually make money off of it. KCRA 3's Melinda Meza shows us how that weed has some value at a factory in the Philippines.
You've seen this weed blanket the entire Stockton waterfront and a large part of the Delta in North Stockton. Hyacinth has caused boats to get stuck, marinas to close down, and shipments at the port come to a halt. The state has paid millions of dollars to try to control the weed and harvest the weed, but Mayor Anthony Silva says the hyacinth could generate revenue.
And they say, listen, we turn this into an economic engine. We make money off this. We create, things of like furniture, chairs, purses, and we sell it, free raw material. So. Mayor
Silva has just returned from a trip to the Philippines and says what they are doing there could help here.
We're spending a couple $1 million, the state of California, to harvest it, to spray it with herbicides. If there's a way to take something that's just going to be here anyways and use it for free and turn it into a way possibly to start a company, then it's something at least worth exploring. It's all handmade.
These purses, handmade out of hyacinth, are not cheap, and they could cost more than $60. Furniture runs into the hundreds.
There is some talk about, funding a grant for a laboratory to do some biofuel type of stuff, with the hyacinth as well. So we might as well use it. That's the whole point of Sister Cities, is to figure out what works in our city, might not work in another city, but when other cities are having successes, it's at least worth us taking a look at it.
In Stockton, Melinda Meza, KCRA 3 News.
And Mayor Silva says his next step is to write a letter to Governor Brown with pictures and examples and to encourage him to consider that idea.
Crumbling away. Rough surf breaking down a Central Coast landmark. Why state park leaders plan to let it fall apart.
Check out these conditions. They can't even stand still out there, where very strong wind gusts were knocking down people and power lines.
And new concerns causing the government to reassess the safety of hoverboards. What you need to do if you own one, when an hour of news returns in 60 seconds. Tip from Manteca led police to a massive marijuana bust that spread over 4 Northern California cities. And this call led officers to homes in Manteca, Modesto, Elk Grove, and San Jose, and they found 1,500 marijuana plants. Police say more than 900 of them were found at the Manteca home that backs up to Cowell Elementary School. In some of the other homes, they found processed marijuana, cash, and a stolen gun. They also found a meth lab at the home in Elk Grove. There are 5 people now under arrest.
A new state bill would give people access to certain investigations involving police officers and police shootings. This comes in the wake of the deadly San Francisco police shooting of Mario Woods, which sparked protests in the Bay Area. Today's measure would give the public access to records that are related to allegations of serious misconduct against officers. It would also open up access to records relating to use of force causing death or serious injury. Supporters say this would improve public trust in law enforcement. And tonight, the government is cracking down on hoverboards. U.S. regulators say they will seize or recall any of these two-wheeled self-balancing scooters if they fail to meet federal safety standards. The Consumer Product Safety Commission cited 52 fires in 24 states. It said many of those would not have happened if the hoverboards met existing standards. Because of the concerns that the lithium-ion batteries can spark a fire, several airlines and college campuses have banned them.
Is there any hoverboard on the market that you think is safe right now?
I'm not aware of any that meet the current standard.
So if you own a hoverboard tonight, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recommends putting it away and demanding proof from the retailer that it meets the new safety standards.
A cement ship on California's Seacliff Beach in Santa Cruz County is eroding with every wave. Rough surf along the Central Coast is washing away the fixture, which has been a popular tourist attraction for 90 years. As Paul Dudley reports, this winter's storms have taken a big toll.
A winter of heavy surf and storms is taking a major toll on an already crumbling Central Coast landmark.
Well, it's been coming apart for 90 years, ever since it's been here.
But now locals are starting to see lots of huge chunks of the famous cement ship wash up on Seacliff State Beach.
Little by little, it became more and more unsafe as the surf took its toll on it.
And it's hard to tell how much longer the ship will last.
It depends on the winter storms, and it survived for 90 years. It may be here for another 90 or more.
Nicknamed the Cement Ship, the SS Palo Alto ended up at Seacliff State Beach in the late 1920s, years after it was designed as a World War I tanker.
Oh, the history of this ship is just incredible, and where it's at, it just brings everybody here.
The ship certainly does have a lot of history. When it first got to the Central Coast, it was an amusement ship, complete with a dance floor and fine dining. The state later bought it for $1. But today it is closed to the public.
I remember when it was all in one piece and the pier was open. But now you're almost standing here waiting for it to sink.
Ted Hoff has been coming down to the beach for nearly 50 years. He says he misses the days when the ship was all in one piece, but he also appreciates Mother Nature.
Half the fun of the excitement is coming down here each day and seeing it change.
Veronica Joyce Gallert says she has fond memories of the first time she saw the ship in 1972. And wishes more had been done to take care of it.
I think if the state bought it for about $1, that they could fork out some dough and they could have restored it.
But that is not what is in store for the old ship. According to state park officials, the plan is to let it fall apart on its own and turn into a man-made reef.
And the experts say the ship won't be going anywhere anytime soon. It's taken nearly 100 years to start breaking up, and it'll likely take another 100 before it's gone.
Now to KCRA 3 weather. In the city of Chicago is living up to its name as the Windy City. The crippling cold may be gone, but look at this. People dealing with strong wind. Yeah, you can see just walking down the street was a struggle there today as the strong gusts were pushing people around.
Hey, it's very nice. At least it's not 20 degrees outside. That makes it better.
But is the wind making it difficult?
It's making it very difficult. I can hardly walk. I can hardly breathe. I can hardly talk.
At least she's got a sense of humor about it. Several downtown buildings were evacuated after debris started getting tossed around. The high wind also knocked power lines out, leaving about 100,000 people without electricity.
She was right about the not having it cold, because that would be rough.
Then it would feel like 20 below, Eileen. It could just be brutal.
Yeah, you know, temperatures were in the 60s when this wind hit. So yeah, by Chicago standards, they'll take it, because at least without that bitter cold associated with it, you just have to battle basically the wind. A strong, compact little system just making its way, whipping its way across the Great Lakes. And now it's going to bring in some wind to upstate New York. It's already bringing in the wind to Michigan, a little bit of snow associated with it. Overall, it's not a big rain or snow maker, but just a lot of wind with that system. The weather that's been over us in the past 6 to 12 hours, a weakening weather system. Some of us saw a little bit of rain this evening, more of us on the west slope of the Sierra, especially around Interstate 80. And we've also had a little bit of snow up towards Donner Summit, even at Kingvale along 80, but it's just not amounting to much. A couple of inches at best falling with this system. Didn't even make it all the way down to, say, Highway 50, 88, and Highway 4, and it's going to basically fizzle out in the overnight. Temperatures right now are ranging in the 50s, and I think those clouds are going to break apart a little bit more during the night, and that's going to allow for some fog to develop. Currently, we have overcast skies, a little bit soupy still around Sacramento, 53 outside. We're at 50 in Stockton with partly cloudy skies, and Modesto's at 54, currently 34 degrees at the south shore of Lake Tahoe, under partly to mostly cloudy skies here. What if you're traveling this weekend? Heading to the coast, it'll be in the 60s and partly cloudy in San Francisco and Monterey. Los Angeles looks pretty nice, a high of 73 under mostly sunny skies. It's going to warm in the days ahead, and by Monday, even Los Angeles could be closer to 90 degrees. So we had that stretch of warm weather recently. It looks like some of it starts to return a bit going towards Monday. If you're heading to Reno, by the way, it'll be partly cloudy and 56 tomorrow. Staying closer to home, we'll wake up to temperatures in the 40s. Some fog will develop, especially around Sacramento down towards Stockton, we think. There could be a stretch of some pretty good fog by tomorrow morning. May take a little while to burn off. I think it'll be gone by midday, and that'll put temperatures into the upper 50s with mostly sunny skies. And just a stretch of these high, thin clouds will go by during the day tomorrow. I think highs will just be around average, low to mid 60s for tomorrow afternoon, a light north breeze. But overall, if you've got outdoor plans, I know a lot of folks maybe out on the soccer fields for tryouts tomorrow. You just want to get around there and get to the parks. It looks pretty good, but looking ahead, yeah, a little bit warmer and eventually some rain. We're going to time that out in the 7-day forecast for the valley, and also look ahead for the Sierra. If you're going to go skiing this weekend, what it's going to be like coming up.
Perfect. Eileen, thank you.
You're welcome.
How about space flight? Space flight forecast in Southern California. Virgin Galactic rolling out the newest version of its space tourism rocket in spectacular fashion.
And the guy you see there on stage is the founder, Sir Richard Branson, aboard a Land Rover that's pulling the spaceship out of a hangar. Spaceship 2 is designed to be flown by a crew of 2 and carry up to 6 passengers. The company is preparing to return to flight testing for the first time since a deadly 2014 accident killed one of its pilots. Branson is hoping that test flights will start in just a few months.
An author with an impact tonight as people remember Harper Lee, the legacy she leaves behind in her books.
And celebrating the man behind some of TV's greatest hits. A look inside the NBC special giving Friends fans the reunions they've been waiting for.
Yes.
People around the world are remembering the author on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper Lee died today. She was born in a small Alabama town back in 1926. It served as the setting of her 1960 groundbreaking novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which took on racial injustice at a time when separate but equal was still the law of the land. And it became an instant classic that inspired a film. It also added fuel to the early fires of the civil rights movement. Back in 2007, President George W. Bush presented Lee with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
All of us are filled with admiration for a great American and a lovely lady named Harper Lee.
For most of her life, Lee stayed out of the spotlight. Last year, the literary world was stunned to learn of a second Harper Lee novel. It was actually written before To Kill a Mockingbird, but took place 20 years later. Harper Lee was 89.
This is very exciting seeing you all together. I just want to speak on behalf of America and say we all love seeing you together. And it's very
That's the reunion Friends fans have been waiting years for. On Sunday, the cast will come together to honor the man behind the hit NBC sitcom, James Burrows. The 10-time Emmy winner is also the brains behind Cheers, Frasier, Will and Grace. It's quite a lineup.
Some all-time greats, right? Cast members from all those shows will celebrate James Burrows' career this weekend in a 2-hour special on NBC. Mark Barger has a preview.
Yes, thank you, dear.
At the bar where everybody knows your name, he was simply Jimmy.
When Jimmy laughed during rehearsal, you knew it was funny.
Where everybody knows your name.
James Burrows directed the gang at Cheers for 237 episodes.
And his hand signals, you knew exactly what he was talking about. Wasn't a guy to waste words.
Or energy, for that matter.
Sorry, forgot my keys.
The cast of Frasier learned that from Burrows quickly.
Jane and I were working on a bit, and from across the soundstage, he said, "What are you doing?" We said, "Rehearsing." He said, "Stop it!
Stop it!"
When The Big Bang Theory launched, Burrows lit the fuse.
That's where I sit. It's like working with a scientist comedian.
The very first episode of Friends got the Burrows touch as well.
He really was key, was essential to helping us as a cast really find our relationships to each other and our characters.
We would do anything for Jim Burrows because he really gave us the opportunity of a lifetime.
His impact was even bigger on Will and Grace. He directed all 188 episodes.
Towards the beginning of the first season, he told me to do a headstand on the chair when my character said, "I'm bored." And I just did a headstand. And I'm like, how would you even think of that?
Not only that.
What makes her different?
Burrows plays a mean piano to boot.
Jimmy Burrows, everyone.
Mark Barger, NBC News.
So here's a look at Sunday's show lineup on KCRA3. The night kicks off with an all-new Dateline episode, followed by the 2-hour special Must-See TV, an all-star tribute to James Burrows. And then you can catch all the day's top stories during the KCRA3 News at 11.
You get a sense as to one of the reasons he was so successful. He was hands-on with all of these shows. I mean, not only did he create them, he put all of his energy and talent into them.
And obviously he had the ear and the eye for comedy too, so he knew exactly what was funny.
Can't wait for that show on Sunday. And take a look at this. A week after rapper Kanye West tweeted that he is $53 million in debt, here's an answer the Philadelphia Police Department is offering to help him out, kinda. The department tweeted this image with the caption, "We are hiring Kanye West. Starting salary, $47,929, so you could be debt-free by the year 3122. West has not responded to the Philly Police Department. No surprise. No. All right, community collaboration while growing Sacramento's Oak Park neighborhood, the organization that's opening the door to possibilities for local businesses.
And Bullet Train changes the new route that could bring it to Northern California much sooner than originally planned.
A dream chance to walk down the aisle. The Roseville couple proving that love knows no boundaries when the KCRA3 News at 10 continues next.
California's Bullet Train project takes a 180-degree turn as the rail planners now say they plan to bring the first high-speed trains not to Southern California, but to Northern California instead.
We're going to build the entire system. It's a question of which piece goes first.
Officials have released a new business plan which details the changes in the project's price tag and construction schedule.
The planners are saying they are now focused on getting trains running as soon as possible and only using the money they know they have. KCRA3's David Bienick spoke with High Speed Rail's top boss today.
As workers continue building a bridge for high-speed rail near Fresno, planners of the project have now changed their minds about where the first trains will run.
That's a very significant advance for the program.
Jeff Morales, head of the High Speed Rail Authority, released an updated business plan this week. Instead of starting passenger service between Merced and the San Fernando Valley, the new plan calls for running the first trains from San Jose to near Bakersfield.
So this is really just a math issue. We know we have, in round numbers, $20 billion. We can build the north with that.
Morales says the southern section, which will have to cut through the Tehachapi Mountains, will come a few years later, after the project proves itself, he says, and attracts private investors.
We're going to build the entire system. It's a question of which piece goes first.
The new plan also pushes back the start of passenger service from 2022 to 2025, and it lowers the price tag for the overall San Francisco to Los Angeles line from $68 billion to $64 billion.
To me, this is just an issue to where the High-Speed Rail Authority wants to get something done.
George Runner, a member of the State Board of Equalization and a longtime high-speed rail critic, is supporting a ballot initiative that would redirect some of the project's funding to building dams and reservoirs.
But we think it's an easy sell, and that's why we believe it should be on the ballot. I mean, what's more important to people, trains or water?
David Bieniek, KCRA 3 News.
The new plan also lowers the ridership estimates, but still predicts that it will turn a profit by its second year of service. By law, the bullet train can't receive a subsidy.
Now to Commitment 2016 and the eve of the next two contests on the road to the White House. We begin in South Carolina, where the Republican frontrunner is losing some ground now. There's a new NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll that shows Donald Trump with a 5-point lead over Ted Cruz in South Carolina. That's significantly down from a 16-point lead a month ago. And today, the billionaire found a new reason to be on the defensive. He has repeatedly said he was against the Iraq war from the beginning, but new audio has surfaced from 2002 in which he told Howard Stern he supported the invasion. However, he did manage to go on the offensive against Apple over the company's refusal to develop new software that allows the government to break into the San Bernardino terrorist's phone.
First of all, Apple ought to give the security for that phone, okay? What I think you ought to do is boycott Apple until such time as they give that security number.
And when it was pointed out that Trump tweets from an iPhone, he took to Twitter again. He said, I use both an iPhone and a Samsung. And he says if Apple doesn't give info to authorities on the terrorists, I'll only be using Samsung until they do give the info.
Republicans in Nevada won't be able to cast their votes until Tuesday, but tomorrow the Democrats will caucus, and it's expected to be another close one. Polls show Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are neck and neck coming into the final stretch in Nevada, and the campaigning is getting nasty, with Clinton taking jabs at Sanders and Sanders hitting back at her husband.
I'm not just promising free this and free that and free everything.
Bill Clinton did a pretty good job as president, but let's be clear. I happen to think that our trade agreements from NAFTA through TPP have been a disaster.
I just don't know where all this comes from, because maybe it's that Senator Sanders wasn't really a Democrat until he decided to run for president.
Thank you. I need to say.
Sanders became a Democrat late last year after winning elections in Congress as an independent. After Nevada, the Democratic race will head to South Carolina for the party's primary the next Saturday. KCRA 3's Lisa Gonzalez spoke with the moderator of NBC's Meet the Press, Chuck Todd, about how much is at stake in all of tomorrow's contests.
First of all, Clinton and Sanders, they're neck and neck right now in Nevada. What will it say about Clinton's campaign if she loses to Sanders?
Well, look, the problem for her if she loses is that we'll have had 3 contests, and Sanders will have won 2 of them, and on the third one, if he lost by an eyelash in Iowa. And when you look back at 2008, Hillary Clinton won New Hampshire, and Hillary Clinton won Nevada. So all of a sudden, here she is, and that was against Barack Obama. Against Bernie Sanders, if she finds herself 1 for 2 in those states, it's just going to lead to another week of questioning. You know, does she have a message? Is she in tune with the Democratic Party of 2016? Is she progressive enough for this Democratic Party? I mean, I think the party clearly has shifted to the left, and it's to the left of Hillary Clinton. She's been playing catch-up, if you will, for some time. And I think a loss to Sanders in Nevada will only bring up more of that angst among some Democratic elites, and you know, hear more chatter about Michael Bloomberg, more chatter about Biden, and it will just make for a long week going into South Carolina for her.
And looking to South Carolina, Trump's 16-point lead is now down to just 5 ahead of Cruz. Is Trump losing steam, or are others like Cruz just gaining momentum? Which is it, or is it a little of both?
No, I think I know it's almost was entirely Trump losing steam, and it dated back to that debate on Saturday night last week, where he essentially blamed George W. Bush for 9/11 and the Iraq War. in a Republican primary. That's not a very popular position. And all week long, he'd been eroding. Ironically, though, the thing that may have saved him and may save him from losing his lead entirely in South Carolina is the Pope. The Pope's criticism, while many might think, oh, geez, you don't want to pick a fight with the Pope, but the Pope's criticism being on immigration, it got Donald Trump back on message. Trump had been sort of flailing and talking about all sorts of things, but not about the core issue that propelled him in the first place, immigration. The Pope refocused him and may have actually saved his South Carolina campaign.
Well, and there's also been a lot of heated discussion about should the president nominate a successor to Justice Scalia. How do you think this will all play out, and how is it affecting the campaign on both sides of the aisle?
Well, look, it obviously has been, I think, Ted Cruz on the Republican side is the one candidate that believes that his supporters in particular care about the judge issue almost more than any other issue. I think the most likely scenario that's going to play out, the president's going to nominate somebody next week, probably somebody a little more moderate than he's nominated in the first 2 times. The person will probably get some hearings, but probably won't get a vote. There'll be Republicans will probably avoid a vote. And then in November, if a Democrat wins the White House, then I think the president will get his nominee. And if a Republican wins the White House, he won't. It's that simple. So it's important, if the president does want to possibly get this seat filled by his person, name him now, because in November, if a Democrat wins the White House, I actually think in that lame duck period between the election and the inauguration, he'll actually get his pick.
All right, Chuck Todd, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your insight and your time.
You got it. Thanks, Lisa.
And stay with KCRA3 for special live Commitment 2006 coverage of the presidential races. We are sending Mike Lurie to Nevada to cover both the Democratic and Republican caucuses. Look for Mike's live reports on the Democratic caucuses tomorrow. He then goes back on Tuesday to cover the Republican caucuses.
What was once an old abandoned school has new life and a new purpose. It's now housing 22 nonprofits all in one place. KCRA3's Rob Malcolm shows us the Community Collaborative.
5, 6, 7, and.
The sweet sounds of instruction are coming from an unlikely place. And for Natalia Johnson, this is the perfect place to call her conservatory home.
It's so important for me to be an ambassador and for this community to have the arts, because there's so much talent here that just is untapped.
Johnson needed a home and space. Hard to find until Judy Smith opened the doors to the possibilities. Smith saw this school sitting empty for over 2 years.
And I thought, this is really a travesty, this beautiful old school built in 1937, and I knew what it was like inside.
Smith has lived in Oak Park for 30 years. All 3 of her daughters attended neighborhood schools. She wanted to create opportunities in a community she considers ground zero.
Everybody is being brought in and being taught to help themselves. So I think it's a wonderful thing.
It's good because the last time I did dance, I wasn't really into it.
We definitely want to take this. We may go to LA. Chicago's had 50 school closures, Detroit 27, and crime is on the rise. And there's just nothing for young people to do.
And now there is.
Turn!
From dance to music, summer and after school programs. There's even a message for the community.
And you want people to realize your past does not equal your future.
Good.
And that's Rob Malcolm reporting. He'll have much more on the Fruit Ridge Collaborative tomorrow night at 6:30 on KCRA3's Common Ground.
Coming up, a dream wedding, a Roseville couple getting their chance to say I do. The businesses coming together to give them that night to remember.
And Not Your Classic Dog, the new Sacramento eatery that's piling on the unusual toppings, when and where you can take a bite of gourmet hot dogs.
And we've got your weekend forecast coming up. Looking out into the Pacific, we'll show you what role this weather system out here will play in our weekend forecast in the valley and up in the Sierra. Your 7-day forecast is coming up.
New tonight, the love story of a Roseville homeless couple, so powerful it inspired members of the community to pay it forward and give them the dream wedding they could never afford.
The first time I really saw everything was when I was walking down the aisle.
Local businesses donated everything from the flowers to the cake, and a Rockland church provided the venue and the wedding dress.
KCRA 3's Natalie Brunell introduces us to the happy newlyweds and their inspiring story.
CJ and Danny Dodson's love story was unlike most from the moment it began.
There's this guy kind of walking by, and he was standing under this tree, and a branch fell and just barely missed knocking him out.
When I met this woman, I almost pretty much died. We started talking. We've just been together ever since.
Both had fallen on hard times. They found themselves homeless and battling sudden health issues. Danny, a rare heart condition, CJ, chronic strokes.
So that's, ultimately how I became homeless, because I came for a job and then I wasn't able to go, and, life moves on whether I have a job or not.
They clung to each other in those times and decided to get married at the Community Covenant Church where they worshiped. One of the first people they told was Susie Baxter.
And then I was like, oh my goodness, I could give them a wedding. I could do a wedding.
Not just any wedding, the wedding every bride dreams of. Susie began calling local businesses who were eager to step in. Suddenly, the flowers, the food, the honeymoon suite, all taken care of.
It tickled me right from the beginning. I didn't even have to bat an eye.
It's something that you don't see every day, and I felt like I needed to be part of it.
When CJ and Danny finally saw it,
it was just overwhelming. It was just so amazing. And then, we had our first dance and all that. I can't even put it into words,
I never thought I would meet someone like that. Never thought I would have a wedding like this, or even in a place like this.
Susie said it was the least she could do.
And we all go through stuff. I've never been homeless, but I've had a lot of other stuff happen. And you help when you can. And so we could help, or we could bless them.
In Roseville, Natalie Brunell, KCRA 3 News.